Good afternoon, everybody in the Roundtable Talk podcast circumference, which I guess would be the World Wide Web.
Episode
right?
136.
Which would be the World Wide Web, and you can click on it if you're in, let's say, Saudi Arabia. If you're watching from Saudi Arabia, you're ahead of us a little bit. You probably got other important things to do. But welcome to the Roundtable Talk podcast. Hal Nunn.
Ruben Castellon.
And Chris Holland.
Inside the studios of Christian1057.com. More about them in a minute. But first, I should share it. But second, Rayford Guns. We're glad to have Rayford Guns continuing on. And they were our inaugural sponsor, and they're rocking and rolling right along with us today. And you need to rock and roll with them out down at the gas station at Skull Road and Johnson Mill. Inside that gas station in Hoke County, Monday through Friday, 10 to 7 p.m., and they're normally at their shows on the weekends. So you can see their Facebook page. I think it's back up and running.
It is.
Rayford Guns.
I tagged
Or
them.
you can check them out on X, Rayford Guns, Instagram, Rayford Guns, or you can give them a call at 910-709-3950. That's Rayford Guns right down the road at the gas station at Skull Road and Johnson Mill. Also, the Hoke County edition of the North State Journal is the only statewide newspaper in North Carolina covering local, state, national, and world news as well as college and pro sports. Subscribe today by calling 919-663-3232. Big announcement coming hopefully next week. We'll maybe share that with them. Hoke.northstatejournal.com. Subscribe today. You can get all the news from around the world, automotive, all these little cool special sections, like his favorite, the coloring section. Just kidding. He does. I bet you do the Sudoku, though, don't you? You probably do that. You remind me of a mental type person that wants to work the brain cells there.
I read the whole thing and do some things with it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm paying for it, so.
That's right.
Also, Christian1057.com, WCLN, your 24/7 source for hope and inspiration and streaming app, web, Christian1057.com. It's what faith sounds like. And I heard a song coming in today, and Dan, super producer man Dan, told me the guy was from Goldsboro. And I had heard the song before, probably on the radio station, but I'm going to have to go check him out. I probably should give him a little plug there, man. His name is Justin Warren, and the song was Come Back Home. It's a Christian artist, and really cool tune there. I like that. Also, check out our Facebook page, Roundtable Talk Podcast, or listen anywhere podcasts are found. Just search for the Roundtable Talk Podcast on any of your platforms, and you'll be able to put it. I tell people to put Rayford NC Hoke County. It usually helps get us there. And also YouTube.
That's right.
We're doing the YouTube things on there, and we are live right now on Facebook, and I need to share that. So
So I know this is going to get us off track. We always do.
We always do.
But I was talking with Rob.
But it gives me a chance.
I was talking to Rob about the bill, the budget bill that passed.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did, they didn't outlaw or rescind the National Firearms Act, but they reduced the tax to $0. So you don't have to pay $250 to register a short barrel rifle, silencer, or any of that anymore. Well, back in 1937, I think Rob told me it was 37 is when they passed that. And the way that it got through the Supreme Court, and because it's a violation of the Second Amendment.
That's
basically.
right. It is.
But the way it got through the Supreme Court is they sold it as a tax. Congress said, we are taxing these individuals, so we have the right to do that. Well, here we go. Now the tax is $0. So there's already two gun advocate groups that have filed suit to say if it's no longer a tax, you don't have to pay a fee, then the whole thing should be scrapped. So I figure here in the next year or two, we'll see it before the Supreme Court.
Well, I know
We're gonna get off.
two things. No, that is a very good topic to talk about. But that
Great
could be,
one. It wasn't even on the list.
That could be a topic by itself, the Second Amendment. But let me share this with you so people know that, because I actually was contacted by somebody regarding our podcast. And so I was asked, I said, well, I don't see the video anymore. And so I don't know if you know this or not. This is what forced us to have the YouTube channel for the Round Table Talk podcast is because Facebook now only keeps videos
30 days. Right?
for 30 days, and then they'll send you a message say, "Hey, we're about to delete your video." So if you don't have the time to see the video and you like us, I think people like to see us talk. I think it's better as a whole.
You get to see the great hats I wear.
That's right. So when you see the audio recording only, there is a video to it, and all you gotta do is go to YouTube, and it's a channel, and then you'll have access to all the previous episodes. Unfortunately, when we started the new channel, we were only able to upload X amount of videos because we were not always doing videos.
We're all the way back to
so
130.
So you're not going to be able to see videos from episodes 1 through whatever because we were not video recording stuff. So just keep that in mind.
Video. Hey.
And the second thing about the Second Amendment, I am 100% in support. The Second Amendment does not say anything. It just basically says the government will not infringe on the Second Amendment, on the right for me to bear arms. There are some regulations that if you're a convicted felon or certain ages or whatever. But what people don't understand is that, let me give you an example how you are required to register. You don't register your vehicle locally, but your weapon is still registered with ATF because they're the ones that manage the whole system. So if you buy a weapon, did you know?
From a dealer.
From a dealer. No, I'm talking about legit purchase. I'm not talking about
you're side hustle.
I'm talking about if you do everything legally. Of course, if you buy a weapon from the street, I'm not talking about that.
Which we do everything legally.
Yes, we do. I do anyways. And so what it is that did you know that you can buy an upper, basic dynamics of a weapon. Okay, you got the lower and the upper. The lower is the one that has the mechanism to shoot. Then the upper is where the barrel's at. Okay, the barrel, you can buy a barrel, and you don't need anything to purchase it. Obviously, you can be a felon. Okay, but if you buy the lower receiver is the one that's registered with ATF. Okay, so a suppressor, not a silencer.
Difference.
A suppressor also has its own unique serial number, so it's still tracked when you buy it. A suppressor has its own stamp mechanism inside when you shoot a bullet. So it can still be traced if people know what they're doing. You're not gonna even if we can buy a suppressor without going through all the red tape, people are not gonna jump and spend $1,000 on a good suppressor. A very good suppressor. First of all, there's a lot of stuff that goes.
The way the stock market's going,
listen to this. Listen, you just can't put a suppressor on any weapon. It's not possible.
Yeah.
You have to have a special barrel.
Got to have the right barrel
to attach or screw the suppressor to it. So if you already have a Glock 22, that's a 40 caliber full size pistol. Okay. And that comes with a standard barrel. That barrel only sticks so much,
about that much, right?
from the upper area of the weapon. So you cannot attach a suppressor on that weapon. You will have to get a special
modification.
Yeah, you have to modify or get a special barrel made for that weapon too. And then of course you gotta have a thread done to it or some special attachment mechanism to attach the suppressor. So I mean, there's a lot go to it. But I'm in 100% agreement. We should not be suppressed Funny. In buying weapons, you know, now I do believe that not everybody needs to have machine guns. However,
Oh, wait, a machine gun?
however, okay, we cannot be deprived, we cannot be suppressed of buying the necessary weapons to fight
And
a
defend
tyrant government. Because the Second Amendment was made for that.
That's one of the purposes. So talking to
Since you brought it up.
yeah, talking to Rob about that. So machine guns will still be taxed, and there's another class of weapons, basically hand grenades, claymores, stuff like
Oh,
that.
I need a claymore.
That will be well. I mean, you
They're
literally
considered to be massive
weapons
weapons of mass destruction.
something like that. Something like
Yeah.
that. But hey, I'm going to push back.
Go
Now,
ahead.
just because you buy a weapon from somebody that's not a dealer doesn't mean that it's automatically illegal, right? I mean, I could sell you a pistol today
Well, yes.
and it's
in North
perfectly
Carolina.
legal. Across the country.
Well, in California.
Well, California.
Well, that's
is
what I'm
not-
saying. That's why
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
There are certain states that civilians cannot just. I mean, can they? Yes, but I'm talking for you to do the legal transfer.
Yeah.
There's a process for you to do this. Like for instance, I cannot just get a. Let's just say I have a weapon, and I sell it to Hal.
Oh, right.
I have
at
to
a good
do
price.
I have to do my due diligence to make sure that Hal is not a convicted felon, because that falls back on me.
It will
Okay,
come back.
and let me tell you,
Not necessarily.
I
Not
can't
necessarily.
I can't just sell it to him without having some type of documentation, because if he kills somebody who, and I buy my weapon legally, where's the weapon going to come back to?
You.
To me.
Yep.
So
But
you have
keep
to.
saying legally though, but like I'm saying, it's not against the law. Personal,
No, it's not.
private sales are not against the law.
Oh, no,
Now, to protect yourself, if I was to sell you a weapon,
Absolutely.
I would print out the serial number, model, and type, and say, "Sign, you just
A bill of
received this."
sale.
Right, a bill
Yeah,
of sale.
a
And then
type
you're
of bill of
covered.
Now,
sale.
do you?
Now, the
What do you
courts-
do with that document?
You keep it.
Put it in the gun safe.
You don't give it to.
No.
No.
anybody?
I mean, you don't send it to ATF. No. You keep it.
You keep it. So
In
if
case
keep
it's
it.
ever needed.
Yes,
if Hal goes out and does something bad.
You keep it. And it's really, if you think about it, it's in your best interest
It's CYA,
to do
yeah.
your due diligence.
Right. But the courts have proved, though, or have judged that you due diligence. I can ask you: are you a felon? Are you prohibited
Yeah.
from having a gun?
Yeah.
And if there's no reasonable signs that I should expect that you're a felon, then I can't be held accountable for selling
that's
to a
right.
felon. So,
All right.
I mean, it's yeah.
So while we were on the gun stuff, because one of the topics was, well, it was one of mine, so I might as well mention it now. Where are we at on the constitutional carry stuff?
So
That was vetoed.
Stein vetoed it, and he just vetoed another one yesterday. I mean, it's right on the top of my head. It's another one to do with guns.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
it was, my bad. I shouldn't have brought it up.
So the House Speaker, North Carolina House Speaker,
Hall.
Hall, that's his name.
Destin, not Dustin.
Said yesterday that towards the end of the month they're going to bring some of those bills back for veto overrides. Any of the gun ones, I don't know, because
We don't know which one.
Some of the Republicans actually vetoed the constitutional carry, or not
Were
vetoed,
against
but
it.
voted against it.
Right.
So this whole thing, and I'll say it, and I tell anybody that'll listen, our legislatures on the Republican side are cowards when it comes to guns.
All of them.
So a lot of them.
Well, the
So,
majority.
the majority.
That's all of them.
So Tim Moore, last year when they repealed the pistol purchase requirement, he was asked, okay, now let's move on to constitutional carry. He said, nope, we've done enough for this session. With a veto-proof majority,
We could have done
they
it.
could have done it. So to me, there's a lot of them, and this last vote showed there are Republicans out there that don't support that type of
course not.
legislation. So,
Of course not.
and that's why I think that last year, because now you can vote for it, knowing that it's going to get vetoed, and be like, reelect.
Yeah, we tried.
we
All
tried.
right, let's move on.
Conveniently.
What is that depressing you now?
No, it's just we've been on air for 13 minutes and we've
All
only
right.
talked about the 2A. and we got
That's the best
2
one
or
to
3
talk
more.
about, really.
It is the only, it is the one that matters. It was there from the beginning. But anyway, speaking of I was going to say the heat, hot. Let's folks, it's still July.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's still going to be hot, and it's going to be hot into August, and so anything different. But the one thing that is different about this summer compared to last summer is the amount of rain that we've had.
Well, that's because we remember the rain season here started 2 months.
Late.
We have 2 month delay, so based on that, I suspect that we're going to have an extended summer.
Oh.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, this weather's reminded me a lot of like when I was a kid in Florida. So in Florida, every afternoon, because of the heat during the day, when it starts to cool down, you have pop-up thunderstorms. It seems like North Carolina is moving into that cycle as well. Usually it's predictable. It's coming from somewhere else and coming into North Carolina. Now it's like, hey, 0% chance of rain. And by the time you get home,
It's raining.
try to mow and it's raining.
So your belief is coming from Florida, and you talking about the delay in the rain is really our June and July are what our end of May and 1st of June would have been. It would have been getting a little bit cranked up.
Well, like he said, we didn't get the rain in the spring that we normally get. What I'm saying is now the temperature change. I mean, because it's been hot. It's unseasonably hot.
Well, you got
and those create those pop-up thunderstorms when the air masses collide.
And you got to remember, it was especially in the morning and at night, it was relatively pretty cold up to the middle of May.
Yeah,
it was
I
cool.
was loving it, man.
You get up in the middle of May, and it was in the 50s, and then we didn't get no rain. So to me, it just makes common sense. We're in a 2 month delay. So
We're in a 2 month delay of summer.
So I'm thinking that
Start school in September.
So I'm thinking, wouldn't that be nice? So I'm thinking that we're gonna have our summer's gonna be a little bit longer than last year.
All right, we'll see. All right. Well, we don't have any water problems right now. I mean, other
That's
than
for
having
sure.
too much, and the grounds are saturated. Now, to give you my train of thought, I was thinking about the weather, and then I thought about Texas and the storm over the weekend.
Terrible situation.
It's horrible situation, completely and utterly. I got this little grandbaby now, man. Things change. Things freaking change. And she was able to come visit Grandpa and Grandmama for the first time this weekend. And then I saw the grandparents and the parents talking about these girls at that camp. And I mean, I'm getting a little teary-eyed right now thinking about it. But and then I saw a story where they were. I'm not saying it's the reason. Golly, don't take it wrong. But the cloud seeding that they were talking about,
It had nothing to do with it.
I don't know. We were talking about the weather, and weather people, men and women, are the only people that can be a lot wrong in their jobs and keep it. And we're here just talking about what's going on in our community, and we can sometimes be on topic. But with the weather seeding or the cloud seeding and the things that were going on the week before those clouds, it's almost like a scientific breakdown that you've got to figure out how in the world can you jump to a conclusion that by them seeding those clouds turned into what happened.
Yeah, I don't think that it's.
I was looking at.
Did you see that though? The cloud seeding stuff.
I was looking at some individuals pushing back on all these theories. First of all, the one thing that really made me sad was that before they even found the first person, it was Trump's fault.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is
Making
just
political. Yeah.
This is sad. This is sad. And so I saw some other reportings from the local folks, and basically they were saying, I don't know why they're blaming anybody. This is every year. This year was just worse, but this is every year.
So, and that's the thing you got to consider. It's the hill country, and they call it that for a reason, because you have valleys, you have hills, and everything else. And water, when you get it abundance, it does just like the desert. It flash floods.
Yeah, that's right.
And unfortunately, it happened at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and ironically enough, I was listening to one of their news briefs or whatever. But this month, they were holding a meeting. That county was holding a meeting to better prepare their flood alert warning system and stuff like that. Now, there's some blame that last year that they voted down funds to put sirens, like the big sirens.
The big sirens.
Yeah, they voted those funds down last year. And this month, ironically enough, they were going to meet again to discuss more procedures.
And that just spawned another communication. I got a message from a friend this weekend. Y'all all know Gene Shellnut. And he was, it happened Sunday is when we had our big storm.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And we were in church, and he said a tornado was heading right for Rayford. And there was an announcement of a tornado warning.
On
Means
Sunday?
you've seen it.
Yeah, warning is it's there.
It's there. It was in the air,
yeah.
not on the ground. But they saw it, and he wanted to tell as many people as he could tell that he knew that were in church, downtown Rayford,
Right.
that a tornado was coming that you might want to take cover. And I remember looking up at we got skylights in the center there, and I mean, it's pounding rain. And sideways, Melanie says she got soaked sideways trying to get the kids with the grandbaby in. But I don't remember getting alerts from. This is not a knock on the county. We didn't get alert from the county. Is it? So, we get alerts at the weirdest times. It's almost like we get alerts after.
But do we have a weather alert system in Hope County? I don't know.
No, but emergency management will send out if there's a massive
hold,
thunderstorm.
Hold on a second. So, two things, okay? One, if you have a smartphone, I'm going to make an assumption that 99% of the people that live in Hope County of age have a cell phone, at least one cell phone in the house. Okay, so there's a way to deactivate and activate your weather alert and your Amber Alert, because I'm gonna tell you, I deactivated the Amber Alert because I'm not gonna get up at 1 o'clock in the morning to find out who got kidnapped. I did leave my tornado weather alert on, because that to me that personally can impact me. Okay, so I also know for locally that if you subscribe to the 9/11 Center, if you provide their phone and because they're up 24/7 and they get something, a mass communication can be sent out to let everybody know. But also the other thing you have to keep in mind is that we have different sections in Hope County. So if there's a potential tornado alert, say in the Aberdeen area, it's almost impossible that that's going to impact me where I live at, and vice versa. So I think that there's a lot of dynamics involved, but I do know that the state has a system. But if you deactivate that system on your smartphone, and if you don't have a radio, a regular radio, if you don't have a system inside your house to get the alert, you're not going to get an alert.
Right.
Yeah,
so talking about the weekend rain,
I get the alerts, and there was a tornado warning, according to Gene. I went back and looked, and it was a tornado warning, and it was headed, but it turned north and went towards Aberdeen and all. I didn't get an alert.
I don't know. I didn't get an alert either.
And I don't have mine turned on.
Did you see what happened in Moore County?
Oh gosh, yeah, and Carthage and Durham.
But Moore County is known for a lot of high grounds,
and they got a lot of high ground.
And talking about high grounds, this is forward planning. So every year that Texas area, they get floods. Obviously, this was the worst. Okay, some people suspect that they might have released some of the dams because of all the rain that was coming in. That probably contributed, which it makes sense. But here's the whole thing: water travels in a certain pattern. It always does, either because it was manipulated by man, because
it's funneled or channeled,
funneled, whatever. Right? But it travels almost the same pattern. Okay. Now, where the camping site was at, that's where water always traveled. Why would you continue to have the camping site in the section where the probability of a flood situation is greater than another.
It's greater than normal, but I don't think that it's abnormally high.
Right.
It's the
Like
thing.
But that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I'm
You know?
So it's like this is a once in a 50-year, 100-year flood that happened, and it just tragically
like the river going through Bryson City. You see people
Oh, yeah.
all on the river, living on the river and all this, but during and Asheville. And then during Helene, you lost everything. And I'm not saying there's any blame for putting up your house or your business on the river. It's very nice if you go to a nice dinner restaurant and you get to walk out back on the river. The mill is on the water, is on a creek.
Yeah.
And anyway, let's get off that. I guess the point is the folks in Texas need our thoughts and prayers, as well as those some in Moore County towards Chatham County and Durham County. I know because the North Carolina Baptist has sent out their messages. We went for that training that they do for disaster relief, and they have sent out, hey, be ready. If you can deploy during these times, be ready.
Did you do that this past week?
Yeah, this past spring,
yeah.
I did disaster relief. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be a Baptist.
I
to
know
go down
that.
there and do
Yeah,
it.
I know that. Did you go to Cumberland County for it?
No, we went to.
Well, they provide over there in Cumberland County. What I'm getting at is emergency management kind of certification, and then they give you credentials that you can log onto the management website, and you can see weather conditions, fire conditions. You can see open and closed shelters, spaces available. It's for
Yeah, I'd like to hear about that. We
Yeah.
did thinking in not Williamstown, the one past Bladenboro. It was down that way. The reason we went there. It was a little bit closer. It was put on by NC Baptist, and we went down there. And you spend mostly a whole day. You start at like 8:30 in the morning, and you go till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I did administration. I'm not going to be the guy with chainsaw. I'm just not going to happen anymore. But they got chainsaw. You rebuild units, food feeding, laundry services. I could do laundry services. I could do food feeding. But me and my wife went, so we both got trained in the administrative. So when they come in, you have to register everybody.
Right.
You got to know what beds are available, where they're sleeping, where they're eating, and stuff like that. So anyway, that's enough of that. All right, local. We already 26 minutes in. School board, Mr. Rubin, I got some questions for you, sir. All right, let's go.
I'm off the clock.
He's off the clock. All right. No, I mean, everybody, look, you can go back and review any school board meeting you want. Kudos for the audio visual this time around. I'll give credit where credit is due. I could hear, I could see, and to be honest, it wasn't as background noisy.
Well, you know why?
Nobody was
You
there.
were all in one little room.
No, because it was the area is smaller.
Yeah.
That's why. And so the regular location where we have
The media center.
meetings, we I mean, it's not like we can put partitions. It's an open area, so
Yeah, I know. Anyway, but you could hear really well, and you could see really well. And I just wanted to bring. Oh, I'm on that. That's the wrong slide. That's the wrong one. Anyway, school project, the high school edition. A lot of information flying around from the project manager, director. I don't remember his name, Barth or something. At first, when I first was in, I met him at the first time they did the one over there at the library. He seems to be very on top of it. He seems to be very experienced, and he also seems to be very meticulous, especially with the money. And he should be. And kudos, because y'all hired this guy, right?
we did
This current school board, or the school board,
when I came in.
this first school board, not this one, but the one 1 year back or 2 years back.
The 2022.
But again, not the board that did the person. Well, I guess it did. Everybody, credit's due. He don't want it. I don't know. You might want it. They're talking about these things with the. There was some areas within the budget where they were going to come in under budget, and I should have brought the document. But you can go online and see it for yourself on the schools county YouTube page under videos. And this one area called commissioning or something, commissioning agent, is going to come in under budget. It's going to, they're not going to utilize all that money.
I think, to my recollection, I think it was 250,000 allocated for that.
Sounds about
specific-
right.
for this for that specific position, and it came at
50,
116.
116,
116.
116,
I
at
think
least
it was
about
160.
130,000.
And so yeah, and that's one of the jobs, along with the administration, the whole county administration. Dr. Chad Hunt, he's heavily involved in the high school project. They were able to, they took out bids and several companies, and they decided on this one specific one, and they went back and forward, and they kept.
I'm
So I have a-
not even talking about the company themselves. I'm
Yeah,
just
but I
talking
have a question. So any money that's saved, because it's earmarked for
exactly
this
what was
project,
I would bring it up.
does it go back to the county coffers?
No.
Does it go to the school
No,
board
no,
coffers?
no. That's so remember, it's a total of 78 million.
Million.
Okay.
That money belongs to the school district. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
that-
So
that
anything
money
saved goes back into the school
we
board.
can't. We can't use that money for other stuff. It's for the high school project, but going in, I know enough now to going in. There's a lot of allocations. So the $78 million, it's already allocated for
For
a
the
lot of
school
line
project.
items. Yes.
Steps of
for the
construction.
high school project.
Right.
There's a lot of line items, and every bit of that money is allocated
Right.
into something.
Right.
And it's a lot of it has not been spent, and it's waiting because it's in phases.
Yeah.
Okay, prime example, the commission and agent. This agent was not needed when it started, but now it's at that point where
They need
this person is now going to be inspecting specific things.
Same with the technology.
That's right.
Technology, they
It's-
didn't buy computers when we
yet.
started.
They haven't yet.
$2
But we
million.
have the money allocated there, and so that is there. Okay, and so while, let's just for simplicity, let's just say we allocated $1 for this bottle, and we allocated $5 for this gadget right here. And so we spend, instead of $1, it's $2, okay? But we still got money. We're moving money around. And now because we allocated $5, this came in at $3. So now we
Might
got
offset
a dollar
a little.
left, and so on and so on. So, but that every bit of money, whether we save or otherwise, is the high school project.
Correct. And that's what I was getting at. So at the end of the construction, any monies that are left over, does it go into the school board budget for upgrades, facility maintenance?
I don't foresee that.
It's
does
going to
it go
have to
back
be.
to the
It's going to
county?
have to be for the high school project, because you got to remember also, there's warranties in place. I'm not too sure. I think it's a year. I think the warranties are like 1 year long. I myself, I think we're going to come under. I think we're going to come just under a little bit.
Amen.
That's
Kudos.
that's my belief, because I can tell John Barat. Of course, this is my opinion as a school board member. I think because I've been in the planning the whole time. They got once a month they have a meeting, and I'm either their president or doing the virtual, and so I'm involved. So he's been. I think he's
on it.
very. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And he's pretty much our liaison to make sure that we're not being taken advantage of, for lack of words.
Right.
And
yeah.
I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying
Make
he
it
is
clear.
he is our eye.
He's the oversight.
Yeah, because there's nobody in the school district, let alone any of the board members, that will have the experience. This is a full-time job.
Right.
This is not a part-time job.
Yeah.
And so every time something happens, this guy has to be involved to make sure there's a check and say, yeah, check.
Okay.
You know,
So
and so on and
So
so
that
on.
meeting that you're talking about, the project update, is in addition to the regular school board monthly meetings? You said there's a monthly meeting with the project manager.
yeah.
That's in addition to your regularly scheduled.
So the project itself, the project manager, then you got the manager on the Maycomb area and all that stuff, and other people. Call them supervisors.
Dr.
Right.
Hunt.
Call them
Right.
supervisors, and then you got Dr. Hunt and other people that meet once a month, and they go through check what's been done, what's any
Yeah, it's a
And
obstacle.
you
progress
guys can be a
report.
part of
And-
that if you want to. each board? If it's up to
No,
you,
it's not necessarily.
y'all go-
Not necessarily. What happened was that how I became involved was I was nominated
okay.
by the chair. Back then it was Madam Angela Sutherland. She nominated for, and I think probably because I was the one that was asking the hard questions.
Interested?
Well, I was like, because there's no secret. I wanted to get rid of the project.
Yeah.
And the two
Build
other
a
new
new high
members,
school,
they were
yeah.
aligned with me, and because we really wanted to move the high school into another location. But at the end, it was not feasible. It didn't make no sense. So we proceeded on, and so I was nominated by the Madam Chair back then, and I accepted the challenge. And then the new Madam Chair, Catherine Blue, asked me, "Do you want to continue?" I said, "Absolutely." I'm heavily involved in the high school project, and so that's why.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
I was given a walk June the 17th. I provided.
You mentioned that.
I provided a quick brief to the board, specifically.
You
to
said
the
it was
Madam Chair.
ginormous.
I did not realize. Well,
That's
we
a scale of
went.
measurement.
You
Ginormous.
really don't see it.
I think it
Yeah.
was all. I don't remember. I think it was all the school board members. One of the process to be able to move the high school project forward when we were trying to stop the project was we were taken to Sacramento. I don't think it was all the school board members. I think it was 4, at a minimum 3, because I remember Catherine Blue, Angela Sutherland, and myself. I think we had 4 people. I don't remember. And other administrative personnel. We were taken to South Carolina, and they had just completed a very similar school that was going to be almost mirror to what we were getting. And it didn't seem that big, and I'm thinking because it was completely occupied.
Right.
This is not occupied. This is walls and ladders and this and that.
Frames.
And when I was taken inside, I was like, man, I felt like a little ant. I was like, this is ginormous.
You can go to their YouTube page, and as they scroll through the briefing, he puts up pictures of the inside of it
Yep.
right now. So if you want to see the pictures for yourself. In comparison, I wanted to mention, I believe it was already published, and I remember seeing this. The county courthouse downtown is
Mhm.
39 million or 38 million or something. But wasn't it reported that they were already
$11
over
million over.
I
11
heard,
million?
That's what I heard.
I've heard, and I don't know.
That's what I read, not heard, not rumor. I read.
So it was
somewhere.
reported that it
11
was
million.
and
See, I don't know how that can be possible.
That's
That-
a
to
lot
me,
of
to
money.
To me, somebody's dropped the ball on that, because if you get the right people involved in that, the people that know how to do these things, you should be able. You could be off maybe by a few $100,000, but $11 million.
that seems a little
Man,
weird.
that just seems crazy
cell,
to me.
cell phone policy. Dr. Spells said the new, the state passed the law. The new cell phone policy is being worked on. So there's going to be a new policy, correct?
Well, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I don't.
Parents
conform
need to
with
be
the law,
aware.
yeah.
It's most people that are involved in the policy committee know I'm the chair for the policy committee, and we got 2 of my colleagues, Angela Sutherland and Madam Chair Catherine Blue.
Catherine Blue.
And we're heavily involved in the policy, so I suspect that we're just waiting for a few things. There's no
Anything
sense
else?
There's no sense in redoing.
Back to
stuff,
school
yeah.
bash, August 16th.
Probably.
I think I saw that.
Probably.
Unless that's not locked in stone. I think it is, though.
Probably. I mean,
It's a
I don't
Saturday
know.
this
It's
time.
Probably going to be.
What's the deal with book bags this year?
Same thing.
I don't think it's
Same
going to
policy?
change.
There's
I
no
mean, we have
change.
not.
Well, no, they
we-
changed the mesh. They're allowing mesh.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it. So.
Okay.
Right.
Some good ideas fade away when they're not.
It
Well,
was
it's
so
not
good.
going to change as
Okay.
far as
Clear
clear bags.
bags, mesh
as far as
bags.
clear bags, because we had to vote on it. As far as clear bags, it hasn't been brought. Not that I remember. It hasn't been brought to the board about we want to change this. So, and I don't think I haven't had anybody it was pretty much. I think it was squashed once it was put out that the school district was going to provide book bags.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because the biggest thing was
The cost.
the cost,
Right.
you know, and now they've had plenty of time, and so if you take care of your book bag, I'm assuming that it might last at least two school years.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I believe they added.
I mean, I know I still have probably about 100 of the school bags that I gave.
we got-
have about 100. We're going to give out.
Got to do
if we
something.
need 'em.
All right,
Yeah.
so okay, that's enough of that. County commission meeting was this past Monday night, and animal shelter was talked about. Still, no addition. What else was discussed there? There was the lady that spoke about the Taste of Hope, the thing they do at the high school.
Yeah, the culinary.
Jamie
Culinary
Guaita, we all know Jamie,
Yeah.
Jamie talked about the soccer fields. They're still trying to work on
They've been working on that since 2020.
2020,
Yep.
and
25 years
it seems
ago.
like to me
No,
that ball has been dropped
5
there.
years ago.
And
I
then
just don't think there's an interest. Yeah.
and then they had the big beautiful bill conversation. Now this will lead us into a little bit. Now we're off the locals, so we get a little more widespread.
But it comes back to local, though. So there was a whole lot of fear mongering. First off, for everybody out there, if you're on Medicare, you're not losing Medicare. All right, you're just not.
Not from what
if
they
you're
said.
on fear mongering, if you're on Medicaid, some requirements to retain Medicaid enrollment have changed. I.e., if you're 19 to 64 and able-bodied to work, you have to work 20 hours a week. Work, volunteer, or go to school. If you don't do that, if you're just sitting on the couch,
Which a lot of
then
people do.
you're going to lose your benefits. If you're disabled, if you have dependent children, if you have any kind of medical disability, you will retain your coverage. There's no change. Now, the certification I heard I read is going to change to a monthly recertification. A lot of the people, oh well, that's going to cause elderly people that can't do this and can't do it. Well, the elderly people aren't losing their Medicaid anyway.
It's not for
right?
them.
It's not for them. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of fear mongering, talking about cutting money from the school lunch programs.
School lunches, hats,
The hats.
social services, federal funding for schools, and I'm sure.
We're waiting on that.
And I mean, I would encourage everybody either attend the school board meeting or the county commissioner meeting, or if nothing else, watch them online. Both of them are online.
Yep.
He's going to say attend, show some support, be there. That's fine, but everybody's times are different. But the amount of veracity, or what's the word I'm looking for, the amount of vitriol, venom that they were spewing about the big beautiful bill, and how it's an abomination to human beings and people in the community, and people getting light bills and heat bills, help for light bills and heat
Right.
bill. Look, didn't our electric co-ops just like almost rake in millions and millions of dollars extra this past couple times?
Well, the co-ops pay money back to their members, though.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you
But it
something
ain't
right
much,
now. That's
but-
nothing. That to me, when I get that $13 check, I say if you
But think about the hundreds of thousands of customers that are out there. So we're talking about a large amount of money pushed back. Now, individually, it's not a lot, but
Right.
it's a lot of money that they push back into the community.
Well, they just started a new fiber optic internet center. This is not a knock on Lumbee River. I think in my case, they do a phenomenal job. But now they're offering fiber internet. And they're making a lot of money. And my thought is, shouldn't the corporations be a little bit of a help when it comes to these people that have trouble?
Let
and
me
not
tell,
the county.
Let me tell you this. Okay, I have an issue with Lumbee River.
Oh, you do have an issue.
I absolutely do have an issue. It's twofold. One, I hate it when they send me these surveys. Am I happy with Lumbee? I don't have a choice. I only have Lumbee River. I don't have a choice. how can I compare you with another company when I don't have a choice? I am stuck. If I want electricity, I don't.
Generator.
I can't even. Yeah, it will be a massive generator.
Right, but that's only in parts of the county. I mean, Duke Energy is over here.
Yeah, they may not have known you were part.
Well, no, I mean, it goes out to all their customers, so there are customers that have alternatives. I mean, you think about Robinson County, Pembroke, all that. I mean, there's multiple services. So, I mean, it's not like by household, well, that guy don't have a choice, don't let's send him something.
And so I would like to see, let me tell you this, okay? I'm going to make a comparison. Elon Musk is the richest man alive right now. Almost, I don't know, 500 billion, I think.
Yeah.
It's I can't even fathom how much money that is. Okay? I say this to say this, Lumbee River. I guarantee you, but of course, honesty and clarity. I guarantee you, if they showed us the book, if you're making millions of dollars and continue to make millions of dollars, you are stealing from me. Okay? I don't disagree that a company should make a lot of money. But when my electricity continues to go up and I don't use more electricity, I just got a letter saying that my electricity for X amount of watts or something, I was going to get an additional $5 charge. And I'm thinking, this is I'm just going to tell you how much it was. It was almost $400 for electricity. And
so in defense, Lumbee doesn't generate all of its own electricity. It buys it wholesale from the market. Duke Energy, and all of these. And also, Lumbee River is a co-op. It's not a corporation. I mean, there's a fine difference between co-op and corporation. Corporations are for profit. Co-ops
Or for the shareholders.
are for the members. Because
Members, not shareholders.
Yeah, they're non-profit. They sink all their money back into infrastructure, salaries, whatever.
Fiber internet.
And then, fiber internet. That's expanding for us, the members of that $13 might turn into $15 next year because now they're doing internet. But my point being, and back to your point, should they do more? Well, okay, they might, but we would have to vote on that as members to say, hey, instead of our $13 check for the 100,000 members, let's give that to, whatever X program that supports hats or social services or whatever. But corporations do make profit.
Right.
I don't know.
I guarantee you Lumbee River is making a profit. I guarantee you.
What do you mean a profit?
They're making a profit.
The profit goes back to us.
So you telling me that their bank account is zero balance?
No.
So they're making a profit.
They don't make a profit.
They're making a profit.
Okay.
Well,
A lot
how
of
else
people
are
are
they going to
getting
buy
paid.
their equipment? How else are they going to
They put money into investment vehicles. So that's where our dividends come from, is the investments. They start closing out those, it's like buying a CD, a 5-year CD.
Right.
Well, from 5 years ago, we've got that money. Yeah, we're running out of time, but
Yeah, well, we got about 12 minutes. All right.
But just let me add this, okay?
Add it.
I would like to get, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I would like to get a justification, not that the gas prices went up, because they went down. So in theory, if you use that on me the first time,
That you had to go up because of gas prices.
Then we went down $1 down. Then in theory, my electric bill should go down too, but it doesn't go down. Just like I
You
told.
got a point.
Just like I told. Just like I
gas,
told. Yeah, I got yes.
in their trucks and their equipment and repairs.
And just like I told my barber.
Oh, they should go down.
Just like I told my barber. I'm having to pay. It used to be $12, and then went to $15.
Used to be $5.
And out of nowhere, it went from 15 to 20. Well, gas prices. I said, okay.
Things never go down.
Okay. So I had a conversation with my barber the last time I went. I said, when are you going to lower your prices again? Oh, why? I said, well, you told me that you had to go off from 15 to 20 because of the gas prices.
And
Now
the electricity bill.
I'm paying $1 less right now, and I don't think we're gonna get our gas prices go up again unless we have a World War III, okay, which I don't think we are.
No.
So in theory,
Little worried there for a
my
while.
barbershop bill should go down again. But guess what? I learned this. That most businesses, once they raise the price on
They're
you,
never going to lower them.
they don't lower the prices. They don't.
It's like government programs.
Yeah,
Once
they're
you start,
voted in, they
once
never
you
go
get
They
a
away.
don't go
government
away.
program. Now, this goes to the big beautiful bill, which I guess it was Tony Hunt that said it, and he was very emphatic. And matter of fact, 3 of them were very emphatic about the hatred about this bill
Yeah.
and what it's going to do in this rural county, who, by the way, they said was the #1 county in the state, but I haven't seen that
What,
anywhere.
$83 million fund balance.
And I see that North Carolina this week was rated #1 in the country for business.
Business growth, yeah.
Yeah. So, they could come here and see some of that. I done lost my train of thought. Anyway, he said the 11,000 people would be removed off the rolls, and
Of what roads?
the rolls
Of what?
for heating and lighting help. Something about $42 billion
Yeah, so
across the U.S.
They have,
and
they have a
equated-
wintertime program that they help elderly, low-income people pay their light bills because you use more heat or more electricity or whatever.
And it's not
And
just in Hope County.
yeah,
His
it's-
was like
Yeah,
3,500.
it's like
But he was saying, quoting 11,000 across the U.S.
In the-
or maybe North
no,
Carolina.
I think in this area.
In this area, 11,000. Those were. It wasn't the 11,000 that dead people that were getting it and not supposed to be getting it. In other words, some people were on the books that weren't supposed to be getting it.
I hadn't even
Well,
heard
somebody's
about that.
getting it.
Like, remember who was the people?
It was
dead
the Social
people
Security.
voting.
It was the dead people voting, and also the Social Security.
Dead people
there
were
was
getting
like,
it.
There was like the breakdown was like one was like almost 200 years old or more than.
So
my,
are you
my
talking about here in North Carolina? Or are you talking about
I don't remember.
nationwide?
Yeah, I have to go back
'Cause
and dig into
this
the numbers.
is a state program managed by local
Governments,
entities,
yeah.
local entities,
So
boards.
my thing is, #1, pay attention to the meetings. But if you want to go to the county commissioners meeting, mention this real fast. You can skip to minute 1910 and listen. They spent 21 or 11 minutes, Gary Math, 11 minutes on this moment of
Outrage.
and from the 19-minute mark to the 31-minute mark.
Well, let me
Go and pay attention for yourself. Now, going back, look at the big beautiful bill. How many times in the military did you come in? I'm sure you ran budgets in whatever office you were in. I was the motor pool, and when they came in and said, "You're not getting this money, so you got to make do with what you got to make do with."
Right.
And what do? You find ways to make do. You find ways to do this, and then in the end, the money ends up coming in.
That's because the finance officer they're not doing their job or whatever reason. That's just my opinion. But let me
I
tell
think
you.
they're shaking the tree, and we're starting to find the programs that were full of what I call fluff.
Listen, I am first generation American, okay? And I don't think there's anybody more proud than the first generation Americans. Then somehow something happens and you become less American. Then you start wearing purple hair, pink hair, and all of this, okay?
Watch out, you're gonna have Moore County after you.
But listen to this. I am not for any of my taxpayer money going to illegal immigrants. And you could take it for what it is. We know this now for a fact, especially in California. How can you justify giving all this money to these illegal immigrants, whether they're kids, old people, I don't care. But yet the Americans that live in California are just barely making it. You can't justify that. That happens to be nationally. We have so many. If something beautiful that I think that happened during his second reelection was that I have discovered, it's been brought to my attention, that the federal government is in the business on only one thing: wasting money. Wasting money.
Yeah, let me add. So I would submit. Yes, we're running out of time. I would,
But we're
submit-
still on national stuff.
Well,
sort of.
this goes back to local. If these commissioners had the same passion towards developing an economic base in this county that they did bashing federal law or federal budgets or whatever, we wouldn't have 3,500 people that needed assistance. You know, we'd have people with better jobs. We'd have better incomes, have better tax revenue because higher
And
pay,
better- yep.
you know, and results in higher tax.
I
base.
get that. I get it.
So, yeah, it's a bunch of Democrats just talking. They don't really know what they're talking
Well,
about.
you know,
But we'll see.
If you
Well-
really educate yourself on this big, beautiful bill, you'll find out that a lot of Americans are going to benefit from this. Not all people will get tax-free Social Security.
And SNAP, that
There's
was
like
another one.
there's like age limits and all that stuff. So I haven't. It's not affecting me yet. So, but I'm making an assumption that you got to reach a certain age before it becomes tax-free. No taxes on tips. It's not all tips. It's up to $25,000.
$25,000.
But you know what? That's $25,000 can definitely help a person that is living paycheck to paycheck because that's $25,000 you get to keep in. So you know, it's just surprisingly that it's so true when Trump says that the dog that just pooped on the road, that poop is bad for you, the Democrats will start eating it.
Well, they're also now against masks.
Right.
They don't. The Democrats now are against masks.
Yeah, they wanna
They're saying the ICE
unmask ICE
agents
agents.
should require their masks to
Well,
be
they
brought
need to
down.
stop shooting at
I was
them.
gonna
And then
say,
stop
while
shooting
they're
them.
shooting at
Yeah,
them.
while shooting them. You have something that's.
I know we're running out of time, but Laura Trump's seriously considering running for Tom Tillis's seat that's going to be vacant. You know, if people don't know, Tom Tillis announced he's not running for
I
re-election.
think everybody knows that, man. Because
So,
there's some fired up
There's
people.
some fired up people, yeah. But anyway, so Laura
And
Trump
he voted
seriously
against the
considered
bill
it.
too.
Yep.
And then Michael Watley, RNC chair, former NCGOP chair, says that he believes the North Carolina Republicans will get behind her. She's polling about 60% in a Republican primary right now. Currently declared candidates for Tillis' seat is former Congressman Wiley Nickel. He's a Democrat. I think he was District 3 out of Raleigh. Andy Nielsen, he's a Republican, and Don Brown. They're both businessmen. They no previous political experience.
The Don Brown guy is. You got to watch him.
Yeah,
Better pay attention to him. He's got a power down east.
a power. Oh,
He's got
both
political
of them spoke.
power
Yeah,
or
both of
people
them
to
spoke at the
support.
convention. I mean, they both have a good message.
Mm-hmm.
And then potential candidates is North Carolina 10 Representative Pat Harrigan,
Mm-hmm.
former Green Beret. I met that guy. I talked to him on several different
He's a beast.
occasions. He is. He's a very conservative, and I think that he will have a strong showing if he throws his hat in the ring. And then, of course, Roy Cooper, still up in the air whether he's going to throw his hat in.
Well,
or
there's
not.
an up in the air of Mark Robinson as well, and I don't need to get
I
into
hadn't
it.
even heard that, but
No, he was asked specifically. And
Oh, did he?
He didn't say no.
Oh,
He,
well, I didn't see
Well,
that.
he
part.
he
I-
did put out a message already saying that he was going to get out of politics.
Yeah, so I think he is in this part of the world. Quick hitters, last minute alibis.
North Carolina extended expired licenses for 2 years.
Yep.
So you can't use it for ID. The only
Or
thing you can-
flights.
or for any kind of ID that you require an ID, except for driving in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get a ticket for expired license in South Carolina if you drive down there. You can't get on a plane. You can't open a bank account. You can't write a check or whatever you have to
But
do.
you can keep your shoes on.
But you can keep your shoes on at the airport now.
Okay. We don't have time. We need to research the IRS and the politics with churches.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's a message out from, was it the Supreme Court or was it a
No, it was the
lower court?
IRS.
It was the IRS.
The
I'm
IRS
sorry.
themselves said, "Hey, look,
Yep.
basically, we're not going to penalize churches if they endorse candidates from the pulpit." Now, got to dig into it. Does that mean the preacher can say, "Hey, vote for Hal Nunn,"
well-
or does that mean Hal Nunn can come in like happens.
Oh, I'm not running, so
My point, using you as an example, comes in and preaches politics to the church. you
Right.
know?
Some churches already do that.
Well, you know that, and exactly.
3 VIP Democrats, elected Democrats in Robeson County, switched to Republican,
Yep.
and now the Republican
3
Board
county
of
commissioners,
Commissioners
yeah.
is a Republican commissioner board.
Majority.
So let me understand this. 3 Democrat commissioners in Robeson County converted
I
That-
don't
yes,
quote me.
yes,
to
they-
Republican.
Yes, they changed their registration, their
Changed
affiliation,
affiliation.
to Republican.
I'm glad those people with common sense are coming back to the.
I think it was 5-2 Democrat Republican, and the 3 switched, so now it's 5-2
or 5-2 the other way
5-2
around.
the other way around.
Why? What happened?
They basically saw the light. I mean, have you
And
seen
a lot
the
of people
Democrat
are
Party?
seeing the light.
the
What do they
Democrat
stand
Well,
Party.
the
for?
Democrat Party is no longer the Democrat.
All right, city elections filing opened, and I think 4 people have filed, or 3 for seats.
3 incumbents and
Hart.
Shirley Hart.
Shirley Hart.
has run for open.
She's
for
ran before.
city council.
But that's still open, so we got a little time. All right, anything else? We miss it.
Nope.
All right, 1 minute over. All right, we want to thank Rayford Guns. Check them out at 5609 Fayetteville Road inside the gas station, Skull Road and Johnson Mill. Rayford Guns, Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and a phone call, 910-709-3950. Hoke County edition of the North State Journal. Subscribe, hoke.northstatejournal.com, hoke.northstatejournal.com, and Christian1057.com, where you get all your inspiration, and it's what faith sounds like. For Hal Nunn,
Ruben Castellon.
And Chris
we'll
Holland.
see you next time.